There was a couple. They was looking to buy a house, so they went to go see the real estate agent. And the real estate agent took them over to a house, and older guy sitting there. And he's the owner, of course. And the real estate agent tells the couple, "I'm going to go outside for a few minutes, and this guy John, he'll help you with any questions you have about the house." So John is sitting there, and they're looking at the house, and just admiring it. John walks up to him and says, "I built this house from ground up. I designed it. I put all the electrical, all the plumbing, flooring. I did everything in this house. But do you think they call me a great home builder? No, nobody does." And he's a real kind of cynical type guy, and they're still looking around. And John walks up to him again and says, "In the course of my lifetime, I bought a few properties, and I was able to remodel and flip a few houses, and a few properties around the city, and quite a few tenants. And, do you think they call me?" John gets mad again and says, "Do you think they call me a great entrepreneur? Do you think they call me a great landlord? No." So the couple was like, "All right, we just want to look at the house. But I sell and get caught selling drugs one time, and now, maybe you didn't get the joke, but I was hoping that the joke would be a segue to the look. I was hoping that the hat, the glasses, would tell the story, that I could sit back down. What happens a lot of times, I believe, is that we look at people and we build a story about them just by the way they look and by the way they talk. I don't even have to say anything most of the time. If I walk in a store like this, you already know who I am, or you think you know who I am. You think you know where I come from. You think you know why I am who I am. Yes, it is true. I am from New York City. Yes, I did grow up in the inner city. Yes, inner city, one of the biggest projects in New York. ED, that's not what you think. Okay. Eden Wall projects. For some reason, coming from New York, you take a lot of pride in where you live. And it's not about the development. A lot of times, a lot of times people kind of judge you by your neighborhood, and it's not money-wise, it's about the character. If you say you're from Little Italy, you already have a certain story about yourself. If you're from Chinatown, you have a certain story about yourself. The same as Bronx and Brooklyn. So a lot of, the question that I asked was, who are you? And the reason I asked that, because a lot of times I believe that who I am is dictated by who you are. And what you think about me is really based on who you are. I say that because as I go, as growing up in New York City, that a lot of times who I am was basically dictated by other people. My mother said I should go to college. I did. My mother and father said get married. I did. My mother and father said do this. None of this was who I was. None of this was my own doing. It was all molded by what my mother and father and society think that I should do for my life and who I should be. So when you said that the question, the easiest thing to speak about is one about yourself, I find it most difficult. Because I find myself in the midst of developing and becoming the person that I want to be, and not who other people think I should be and what other people think I should be doing. Yes, coming up in New York City brings a lot of challenges. It brings a lot of diversity to my life as well. I've been, and let me say this, because one of the biggest stereotypes that I think that people think, when I say New York, and sometimes I was trying to get rid of my accent, because as soon as I open my mouth, people are already like, oh, he's one of these fast guys, slick talking, he think he knows everything. I haven't even said anything. I said hello. I think you know me. And it didn't work too well in front of judges in my younger days. I was, as I continue to grow, and to continue to develop and continue to try to become the person that I think I want to be. That I often look at other people and look at how a lot of times my life has been bounded by limits, that I do not really know how to be free. I live in a certain kind of box based on what everyone else thinks and how they think I should act and be. But never have I really looked at it and said, well, there's no limitations to what I can do. There's no limitations to who I can be. And when I say be, it's not about monetary things and career things. Be as a person. I could really be an honest person. I could be a faithful person. I could be how many was that? That was part of the speech. But when I say who are you, a lot of times I'm still in the development of finding who I am and not based on what everybody else is.